Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another coffee review. So, in the last one you saw, I was on vacation with my family, and we were in Thorpe, Pennsylvania, seeing a lot of the famous sights to see there. We went on the train tour, we saw the famous jailhouse, among many other things. And they started selling their own coffee in the tourist town there. It's in this little cute tent right outside the train station and next to the main gift shop. But this is a very new startup that they did very recently in collaboration with a Pennsylvania based coffee company called Firehouse Coffee. And what is this, you ask? It is the Iron Horse Coffee Company, Columbia. Now, from what I could gather, this is exclusively distributed at tourist locations because when I went to look this up to see if ordering online was even possible, it led me down quite the rabbit hole because there is another coffee company called Iron House, no, not House, Horse, Iron Horse Roasters. Now, this seemed eerily similar to the one I had just purchased because they had the same branding with a train on the logo and everything and boasted about like natural brewed coffee. So it was kind of like, well, which one came first? Is this plagiarization? Like, this is really weird. So I did a little bit of research, and what I found reveals that this coincidence and similarities may not be as unusual as I thought. So, Iron Horse Roasters is a New Jersey based coffee company that is actually a white label company. They get their coffee distributed from another company that's actually based in California. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is white labeling? So, when a company is a white label company, that basically means they are selling a product through another distributor, but under their own brand. A distributor might be selling out coffee to like 5 or 6, 10, maybe even more different like startups, independent companies to sell under their own branding is basically what that is. But they did do the legal diligence by printing on the package that their coffee is sourced from that California company. That is what you're supposed to do. Now, when I had first heard of white labeling, there's this somewhat controversial political YouTuber called The Quartering who released a brand of coffee called Coffee Brand Coffee. And where he got in trouble for this was he boasted that, oh, this is locally sourced and locally roasted right from his hometown. When in reality, it was a white label product that was being sourced from somewhere he didn't even live. So he lied to his audience about his coffee brand being locally sourced when it was just a white label product. If he was just honest and said it was a white label product, he wouldn't have gotten in as much heat over that, among a slew of other things. But yeah, so Iron Horse Roasters is a New Jersey white label coffee company that just happens to be eerily similar to the one that I had purchased here. Now, the Iron Horse branding is actually really common because Iron Horse is apparently a very popular nickname for trains. Yeah, that's like a train lingo right there, and it's incredibly common, part of American culture, and I guess there's a lot of different companies that like use the same Iron Horse and train branding for their logo, so there's no plagiarization done. I just think that it's going to be a little bit confusing for people when they go to say they want to buy this Iron Horse Coffee Company coffee again. They look it up online And the top search is that New Jersey-based company called Iron Horse Roasters. So, listen, I understand how this happened because Iron Horse Coffee Company here, this was a coffee made specifically for tourist locations in Jim Thorpe. They had no immediate plans to start selling this online, but I do think they should, just to clear up the confusion, because like I said, when I looked this up, there were two very similar coffee companies. Like when people look up wanting to buy this again, they're going to get that New Jersey-based company. Now, I am not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that New Jersey company. I don't know. I'd have to try their coffee for myself, but I am just saying they should try to clear up the confusion a little. Also, when looking up Firehouse Coffee, the domain, I was seeing when it was registered. Apparently, there was a Washington-based company called Firehouse Coffee that existed for almost a decade, pretty much. And at some point between 2010 and 2012, I think that company went out of business. And now if you look up firehousecoffee.com, you are going to get the Pennsylvania-based company. So I don't know what the history is there with whatever happened. But yeah, this is a product in collaboration with Pennsylvania Firehouse Coffee to be sold at select tourist locations. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting rabbit hole that I was led down when looking this up. I learned a lot of new things that I didn't know previously, but enough yip yap. Let's get on to the review. Now, I picked up two of these. There's obviously the Columbia one I have on here just for display. You got the logo on there with the famous train and everything. And I will say, these bags are mildly deceptive. It makes you look like you are getting a lot more when in reality you're getting about, you're basically getting about that much, which isn't a bad amount. That's still pretty good. But, consumers might just see this a piece of paper on top here and think, ooh, I'm getting a lot of coffee, when it might just be a moderate amount of coffee. Now, I decided to do a cold brew with this, a 24-hour cold brew that ended up being more like a 27-hour cold brew. And I went with their coconut cream flavored one because I thought that would taste very nice as a cold brew. Now, as you can see, the glass has already gotten a little bit of condensation. The ice is getting a little bit sweaty because I was talking so much, but here we go. Now, I am first going to try this straight with no flavoring or additions, and then I'm going to add maybe a creamer to this afterwards. See what I like more. So this is the Iron Horse Coffee Company coconut cream done cold brew style. Cheers, and let's see how it is. It's not bad. I do feel like this does give me the impression of a lighter roast, because I do feel like the coffee flavor in this needs to be a little bit stronger. But you can taste the coconut just fine. The flavor is still there. It's present. It comes through. I just think it needs to be a little bit more robust. I think it should have that coffee boldness while still maintaining that nice, fresh taste of the coconut. So yeah, it tastes a little bit watered down, which is surprising because I had this thing cold brewing for almost 30 hours. But let's see how it is with the we're gonna use the Chobani vanilla toasted coconut creamer. Let's give that a splash, give it a swish. Let's give it a taste. Let's see how it is. Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like it's missing a little something. Like the flavor feels like it should be a little stronger. Try doing a pour over. See if that makes a difference. So, this is weird. Tried it straight up, didn't really hit. Add the creamer, didn't really hit. Added more of that in addition to me already adding the creamer. Now I'm kind of starting to like it. Isn't that weird? So, I don't know. It is a very mild roast in my opinion. Is it bad necessarily? I wouldn't go as far as to say it's bad. I don't know. Maybe it's just better as a hot roast. Maybe I did something wrong when preparing this. I don't think I did. I really don't. But I think for what it is, it's fine. It's not bad. Is it the best thing I ever had? Not necessarily, but it's enjoyable for what it is. Is it... Oh gosh, I forget how much I paid for this. If it was like 15, 20 or so. Is it worth the price? Not so sure. They might be selling this for like $15. This might be more like $10 or $8 in my opinion. Like this does like taste like something you'd get at like the supermarket or something. But anyways, that is my review for today of Iron Horse Coffee Company's coconut cream coffee. I think doing my research on this was actually a lot more interesting than the product itself, but either way, hope you all were entertained, and I will be doing more videos in the future. I've got a lot of different coffees I would love to review, and this is just the start of many. Stay tuned, my friends.